Big East football schedules are released, basketball comes to a close, and we have a near no-no on the mound.
Owlsports Update starts right now.
Hello and welcome to the first ever live edition of Owlsports Update. I'm Sam.Marcinek alongside Laura Meminger. We have almost too much news for one episode. Thanks, Lindsay. Midway through the season, spring teams have more pressing issues than the move to the Big East. Football, on the other hand, is already looking ahead to the fall. Filling the void left by West Virginia, the Owls look for a big 2012 in the Big East. John Mailer has more. After a brief road trip to Rhode Island, the Owls returned home to take on George Washington. The GW Colonials were 3-7 in their last 10 games. On the other hand, you have the Owls, who were real hot and winning 6 in a row, not to mention holding the top spot in the Atlantic 10. Reigning A-10 Player of the Week, Ramon Moore and the Temple Owls took on George Washington at the Liacouras Center. The Owls got off to a quick start with a steal by Moore, who hits a streaking Will Cummings for the easy finish. Then, the big man, M-Easy, Michael Eric goes to work down low with a strong take inside. Next, Eric pulls out the old turnaround hook that doesn't fall, but reliever Hollis Jefferson swoops in for the nice putback. Hollis Jefferson finished with 6 points and 9 boards. But George Washington took control of the game, dominating the Owls for most of the first half. The Colonials shot 56% from the floor, while the Owls shot only 32%. George Washington went into the locker room up 41-29. The second half would be much different, as DeLeo came up with not one, but 2 big steals, followed by a clutch three-pointer, which would be his only shot of the game to spark the Owls. Then, late in the second half, it became the Khalif Wyatt show, as he took over with 14 of his 22 in the last 5 minutes of the game, which allowed the Owls to claw back and take the lead. The game would be sealed with 2 huge threes by Ramon Moore, who finished with a game-high 25 points. The Owls would steal the game from George Washington after being down for over 30 minutes, winning 79-72 over the Colonials. Thanks, guys. It's been a long but exciting year at Owlsports Update, with a lot of top plays. Not your average home game. Coach Dunphy and his players couldn't find a cab, so they all made their way down the Broad Street line to the Wells Fargo Center for this big matchup. For the last 3 years, Temple has upset a top 25 team each season, beating Tennessee, Villanova, and Georgetown. This year, they hope for Duke. Austin Rivers gets things started with a three-pointer, which were the first points of the game for either team. A minute later, Khalif Wyatt responds, getting a steal and completes a breakaway layup to put the Owls on the board, still down by 1. Miles Plumlee from down low gets the shot to fall, putting Duke up 5, their largest lead of the game. Ramon Moore finds Anthony Lee for the alley-oop, making the score 10-9. Temple takes its first lead of the game. Anthony Lee stood his ground against the Plumlees as he gets a rebound and the putback, finishing with 11 points on the night. Plumlee again gets the tip in to fall, but this would be Duke's final lead of the game. The Owls try to end the first half on a good note with the TJ DeLeo fast break slam dunk, but Mason Plumlee answers the call 13 seconds later with the alley-oop. Temple still up 2 at the half. In the second half, Juan Fernandez completes an unbelievable behind-the-back pass to Anthony Lee, who kisses it off the backboard, giving the Owls an 11-point lead, their largest of the game. With 45 seconds left in the game, Hollis Jefferson puts an end to any hope of a Duke comeback, giving the Owls their last field goal of the game. Temple pulls off an unbelievable comeback and upsets number 3 Duke with the final score 78-73. In a season that has already seen Coach Dunphy's mustache disappear, could another Owl be losing some hair? Don't worry, Michael Eric's flat top is safe, for now. But Twitter may have cost Juan Fernandez his locks, and Dunphy could follow. Updates Taylor Shea explains. Following a great regular season in 2011, Temple football coach Steve Adazio and the Owls picked up a bowl bid for the second time in 3 seasons, but the Owls hadn't won a bowl game dating back to 1979. Standing in their way was Pistol Pete and the Wyoming Cowboys in the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. Off to Albuquerque we go. This game was actually the first of the 2011 bowl season back in mid-December. Adazio and the Owls got off to a hot start with a goal line touchdown by Matt Brown, putting Temple up 14-0 early in the second quarter, showing a little muscle. Later in the second, Wyoming answers. Quarterback Brett Smith throws a deep strike to receiver Josh Doxson, who makes a great one-handed grab for a touchdown, and the Cowboys are on the board. But Chris Coyer counters. Say that 3 times fast. with a 61-yard bomb to Rod Streeter, and the Owls go into half leading 28-7 over the Cowboys. Looking good for the Owls heading into the half. The pounding continues. With Coyer bouncing off tacklers, he would rush for 71 yards on the day. Sweep around the right-hand side right here. Also, Bernard Pierce busts out for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Adagio enjoys a Gatorade shower as Chris Coyer receives Offensive Player of the Game with 169 passing yards and a touchdown. Tahir Whitehead wins Defensive Player of the Game with 6 tackles, including 1 for a loss. Temple is a bowl winner, taking the Gildan New Mexico Bowl 37-15. For Laura Meminger and the rest of us here at Owlsports Update, I'm Sam.Marcinek. Have a great day.